Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus, and welcome to another analysis video. On the agenda tonight we have Keith Urban, and this is going to be coming from 2014, and it's just going to be the end of his song Stupid Boy, and this is just some crowd footage that we're going to be having a look at, but let's get Keith up on screen and see how he gets on.
She could run, and when she did, she was long gone.
I'm just going to jump in here because that solo section was really cool because we had the light and the shade. The fact that Keith started off just with some slow slides and the backing, the dynamics is just really down low. And having that ability to play with that slow wide vibrato, but also the faster vibrato, you can see here when he's now starting to ascend up, getting louder into that more open dynamic sound, he's now starting to speed up that vibrato as well. And it is such an advantage to have control of that emotion of whatever you want to emote through the guitar with your vibrato, then you can do. Having that control will make your playing so much more versatile, and Keith has absolutely got control all the time here. You can see those slides and really controlled bends as well, really pitch perfect with the bends, and they have to be in that really slow section where everything is just your guitar. Another thing about Keith, I've seen a few videos of his where his tone is always spot on. Whenever I've seen him, he's always got a great tone. And even though this is just crowd footage, probably just filmed with a phone, you can still hear the quality of that tone just really cutting through. Great sustain, but not too much, not overdone. It's not just crazy effect on here. Keith has got some serious chops. He is really great at playing for what the song needs and what the composition needs rather than trying to show off. And he's actually got a hell of a lot of chops. I've seen him do some really great technical sliding, alternate picking. Here as well, he throws in thumb, first finger, second finger, just to keep that softer sound as well. He does sometimes just play with the thumb instead of the pick and just hides that pick away, just clutches at the pick whilst playing. Another thing that I have to mention is the fact that Keith is singing. He's not one of these guys that's just a guitarist. He's a vocalist as well, and his voice is great. You know, he's got a really top level voice, a vocal that would just be fine for a vocalist who would just walk around the stage just with the microphone and then they'd have a lead guitarist. Whereas Keith is that all rolled into one, which is one of those rare situations that you find someone who can sing amazingly well and have still got the chops on guitar as well. They can melt your face if they want to. And Keith hasn't melted a face yet because he's playing for the song, and I'm sure he's just about to open the taps a little bit more. So let's get into a little bit more of Keith's playing. just going to jump in here because there we had it. It was a little bit of technical, a little bit of a stretch you can see there as well. The fact that he's actually using his first finger to play those runs. It almost sounded like it could have been an alternate picking thing, but you could see Hammer-on's pull-off's first finger as well as striking the strings. And you can hear at this point of the track, the band are really open dynamically now, really leaning into it. And Keith's opening up with his playing as well. You can see at the top of his bends here, he's really increased the speed of that vibrato to match the energy of the point of the song that we're in. That outro is really open dynamically, and that vibrato is matching that. It's really subtle, but these are the things that the top players can do when they've got total control of the instrument. They can change the emotion through their guitar for whatever the situation is when they're playing with the rest of the band. If the band are totally open and going for it, you can then change your playing to sound a little bit more going for it and just a little bit more off the rails, and that's the kind of control that the top players have. But let's get into a little bit more just to catch the end of this track. And there we have it. It was great that Keith then showed us the slow vibrato as well. I always mention in my videos, everyone who watches this channel will now start to realize how important I think personally vibrato is in everyone's playing, because all the top players have got control of it. And Keith there intentionally has made a conscious decision to throw in a slow, wide vibrato, because he's been playing it so fast, to totally change it up. And even just with that one technique, it can totally change the sound and the emotion of that playing. Right at the end there, we had the kill switch, which of course kills the sound from the guitar. So if you switch it on and off quickly, then you'll get that sound that everybody recognizes from, especially the 80s. Kill switches were all the rage back then, but it still certainly gives an interesting effect just to make your playing a little bit more dramatic, and great for a little outro like this. But we don't get a whole load of country music over here in the UK. I know that Keith was originally from New Zealand, and I think he was a judge on The Voice in Australia, but I might have that wrong. But Keith certainly would have seen all those guys in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, those country players who are featured on this channel. A lot of guys out there that do play guitar will know how many techniques came from that country genre and then made it across to other genres as well. In fact, I saw Keith playing with John Mayer, and they're just doing a really cool blues kind of jam, but Keith absolutely was all over it. Like I said, he's got some serious chops. So those techniques, when you learn with that foundation, you can then apply those to different genres of music as well. And you'll see a lot of blues guys using alternate picking, sliding, and a lot of the stuff, even hybrid picking as well. A lot of the stuff you see in country music, you'll see across other genres in blues players as well. This is a great little video just to see within even a 3-minute period how you can have a totally understated lead with a few slides, really nice slow vibrato, and then towards the end you can totally change that dynamic and start to speed up that vibrato and be just totally more open with the playing and the band, and you can have a totally light and shade performance just in 3 minutes. And that's what the great players will do, and that's what the great bands can do as well. But thank you so much for suggesting this video for me to take a look at. Keep those suggestions coming in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Rock!